Good evening everyone and welcome to TTML. We are here for round 5 of the championship as we take in the Canadian Grand Prix. James Hay, going to be taking you through the stream as always. I would be introducing Paco Suarez at this stage, but he is running late however, so Paco might not be here tonight in terms of commentary. Hopefully we will be able to get him though in terms of commentary on or at some form in the party, but hopefully we will have a good race nonetheless, and hopefully we are going to have some fantastic racing out on track. And I am just trying to fiddle about with my connection here slightly because I think the bars have gone down on my end. Hopefully that should be okay. But yeah, we are here, as I say, for Canada. It is round 5 of the championship, and these guys should be really taking in the best of 5. Tekken leads the way on 104 points, with Paul McGinn's in second on 94 points. Maximus is in third on 68, but Atlas Copo in fourth on 67, and Jeffrey in fifth on 66. Jippy Storm in sixth on 49, Maze in seventh on 39, Shumi in eighth on 38, without Vanderlei in ninth on 37, and Zero in 10th on 33 points. That is the top 10. Nilsson is in 11th on 29 points, with Salas in 12th on 25. Sapmi, King, Parcells and Nellis all tied for 13th on 21 points, with Vax Viking in 16th on 17. NSL Storm in 17th on 14, with Invictus in 18th on 12. De Miles in 19th on 9, and Tom in 20th position on 8 points. All drivers so far have scored points. You can see a new driver there in the lobby as you look down. That is OWR DN200G. Just got to call him DN, I think, within commentary. And he is, of course, a Norwegian going to be appearing with the LWR. He is a reserve here in Division 5, so he will be appearing in the Racing Point tonight. Constructor standings, and Racing Point do need that second driver, of course. They're on 150 points, leading the way in the Constructors, from Renault in second on 114, Ferrari in third on 113, Mercedes in fourth on 105, with Red Bull in fifth on 76, Williams in sixth on 58 points, AlphaTauri in seventh on 54, McLaren in eighth on 41, Alfa Romeo in ninth on 34, and Haas in 10th on 14 points. McLaren, I think I said, might have been on 34. No, McLaren are on 41 points, just to clarify on that. I think I might have got that a little bit wrong. I am not sure. But, just going to go blue screen for a second. Invictus has just sent me a friend request, which I'll accept. There we are. So that has been accepted there on the stream. And hopefully we're going to be seeing some good racing out on track tonight. We've got 17 drivers currently in. Just to have a look through the drivers that are here: Invictus, Maze, Nilsson, Maximus, Vax Viking, Shumi, Sapmi King, DN200G, Atlas Copo, De Miles, NSL Storm, Tom, good to see him returning, Nellis, Jippy Storm, Jeffrey, Zero and Art Vanderlei. So they all appear here tonight for the Canadian Grand Prix. We might have one or two latecomers into the race, but we are about a minute away, and hopefully we're not going to get any stretch of it under any imagination at all. I hope we're not going to get issues tonight, because it was quite painful if you watched Division 2 or Division 3 last night, and we were receiving both server issues. One of those things, I'm afraid, that happened. The first time on my end, certainly for Division 2, I got disconnected from the lobby. The lobby wasn't appearing for me, so that was why I got disconnected originally. And then the next 2 times that happened later on in the race, it was about 9 or 10 laps from the end of the race. We had lobby issues by the seams of it. A majority of the field had left, as well as me, because you probably saw Tom frantically cutting away to a technical difficulty sign, as he always does with these things. My controller has just dropped on the floor. But yeah, it is one of those things, I'm afraid. Hopefully, though, we are going to see some good racing out on track tonight, and hopefully there's going to be no issues whatsoever for either of the 2 streams. We do want to tune in for Division 4. It is, of course, Graham Chappell and Joseph Corboy taking you through that one, so they're going to be appearing for Division 4, and I'm sure that stream is now live, so you can tune in for that if you so wish, or if you want a dual monitor setup and have me on as well for Division 5, then that'll be fantastic. Of course, Paco would have been here. This would have been his final commentating night in terms of commentary. It's a shame that he can't make it, obviously. He's running a little bit behind schedule, so hopefully we might get him in at some point. I'll just see if there's been any update from him on Twitter, and I'll just check just to be sure, but everything seems like it's going to be for me to do a solo commentary here tonight, so it shouldn't be too bad. It shouldn't be too bad at all, and hopefully we do get to see, as I say, some great racing out on track. I'll tune into the comment section and everything in due course, but hopefully we're going to see some great action which will unfold eventually out on track. I'm just waiting now for the drivers to load into the lobby, so while they do that, I'm going to be back because I really need a drink. My voice is going already, so I'll be back in about 1 or 2 minutes. And just like that, I am back with a lovely, fresh diet lemonade drink that I've got. I'm also going to shut my curtains as well, because it is coming in nice and dark here now in the UK. It is 8 o'clock when the sun does set. So, countdown has started within the lobby. We will be going shortly into 18 minutes worth of qualifying for the Canadian Grand Prix. We've got 18 drivers here tonight, which is good to see. And hopefully we get to see some really good action out on track. Sorry, I'm a little bit out of breath coming up the stairs there, but we are here as we now load into the lobby for the Canadian Grand Prix. If you are supporting any of the drivers, of course, here tonight within Division 5, then let it be known in the comments section, and I will check them during the course of the night. I still seem a little bit out of breath. Goodness me, you wouldn't think it. I've only just walked up the stairs. Yeah, but anyways, we are going to go in. And remember, Tekken 10 points ahead of Paul McGinns to come in tonight. No, Paul McGinn's actually here tonight. Neither is Tekken, which is quite interesting. So none of the two main contenders are here tonight. So the two championship leaders are not here. So that means it is time for everyone else to really put their foot forward and to try and get towards the top end of the field. Now load into qualifying in what is a very gloomy looking paddock and in a pit garage here, of course, as we are now out on track and awaiting the first drivers to come out on track, of course, here tonight. Expect lap times. We saw 107.9 last night in Division 2 for M short, and I think Division 3 was a 108 flat if I'm not mistaken. So we should be seeing lap times probably in around the mid 108s, maybe the lower end of the 108s, I think, here tonight. So it should be quite interesting to see. We have got the first car coming out on track, and it looks like it's a McLaren possibly coming out on track. And it looks like it is Nilsson. Yeah, Nilsson is the first one, of course, winner of our giveaway back a little while ago. But Nilsson out of the pit lane. The German now in what is a really gloomy looking Canada. It's like 2011 all over again. Surely we're not going to get 4 hours worth of racing. Look at how dark it is out on track. I've never seen it so gloomy in any qualifying session, in any race session, let alone a qualifying session. Also now warming up the tyres as now comes up towards turns 8 and 9. Of course, there are 3 DRS zones here in Canada. One, of course, down the start-finish straight. One, of course, down towards turn 9, where we just came out of. And then also one down the back straight, which we'll show you in just a second as it'll come around the hairpin. Nilsson breaking himself slightly there. Running wide. At least he's not on a lap. And he hopes to be setting the first lap here tonight. Expect plenty of invalidations in the early stages of qualifying. And remember, the soft compound tyres might not get up to temperature just yet. if it becomes drier or certainly sunnier towards the end of the session, we should see some very fast lap times being set. But Nelson now at the final corner, about to start us off on a lap as we now cut across onto the broadcast cam to take you through a lap here of Nelson. And he now comes through turns 1. Nelson now runs up the slight rise up towards turn 3 and then through the chicane at turn 4 as well. Nicely there. There's the yellow flag in sector 1. Not sure who that is. It looks like there's been a collision there, possibly, unless there was a slight mix-up coming out of the pit lane. Not sure about Nelson's first sector. Didn't quite see that, but the German certainly looking like he's had a good first sector as he now runs into that first DRS on pretty much out on track. As he now comes now through turn 8 and 9. Oh, catches the curve on the inside of turn 9, and that is him into the right-hand side wall, and with right-side end plate damage, Nelson will probably try and complete this lap if he can. He might just go back into the pit lane, to be honest, which I won't be surprised if, but he was purple in the middle sector after he hit that wall. So Nelson now running down towards the wall of Champion Chicane. Schumacher, Hill and Villeneuve cross their Eagles back there in Canada, and yeah, Nelson does the smart thing. He comes back into the pit lane. Our Vanderlei is going to be one of the next ones to come across the line, I think, as he now comes out of the hairpin. We're going to get our first lap time, I think, from a Renault. Might be Passel's out on track. No, it's Vax Viking with a 1:10.3. So Vax Viking 3, not a bad lap time there at all. Vanderlei now through the final corner. Not going to be going as quick as Vax Viking. Going to be about a second off, I think, when he comes across the line. Yeah, 1.5 seconds off nearly for our Vanderlei, but he does go second for now. Passel's is invalidated on a lap. Shimmy's through the middle sector. Just try and pick up on somebody that might be through the final sector. Satmi King across the line and validate. Atlas Coppo now running down towards the wall of Champion Chicane. Hoping to put in a good performance here tonight, the Norwegian. He's in the Ferrari, of course. Within the top 10 in the standings. And now through the final corner, really attacking. He looks quicker than Vax Viking through there. Comes across the line. Oh, he's just fell short by about a tenth of a second. So Atlas Coppo goes second. It's an OWR 1-2-3. Vax Viking, Atlas Coppo are Vanderlei. The only three that have set times so far. Jeffries through the final sector. I think we had DN200G as well on a lap. He's got Vax Viking just the left-hand side of him. Gets out of the way right at the death. Vax Viking looks like he could be going for another lap, actually. As we go on board with him, he's 4 tenths up, actually, coming across the line. Yeah, 3. He just lost a little bit of time in that final sector, but a 1:09.9 is the fastest lap so far. Shumi, by the way, has gone third as well. And Jeffrey comes in on a set of mediums. 11 hundredths quicker than Vax Viking. So the Mercedes man goes quickest, the Dutchman, ahead of the Norwegian. So Jeffrey ahead of Vax Viking early on here in qualifying. Adam Nellis, formerly known as I Am Nobody, of course. Now running down into the wall of Champion Chicane. So looking like a quick lap. Nellis now through the final 2 corners. Now on the run to the line. Let's see what his lap time is going to be. Goes fourth, 1:10.5. So he goes right in between and splits the Ferrari. So now AlphaTauri quicker than Ferrari. I wonder where we've seen that before. Nellis getting out of the way of his teammate, I think, just coming to the right hand side of him there. That was 0 on a lap. Maximus is on a lap coming through the end of the middle sector. Not sure if he's got right side end plate damage actually there. No, he hasn't. That's just my eyesight. And now Maximus running down towards, as Tom goes third, his teammate. Maximus now running down towards the wall of Champion Chicane. You would imagine that Maximus would be one of the favourites probably to take pole position here. There was a bit of a shock in Monaco, of course. Oh, and he's invalidated coming through turn 13. And Maximus would have been inevitably quicker, and it would have been a 1:09.4. So he would have been 5 tenths quicker than Jeffrey there. Nelson is on a lap. Invictus has gone third. McLaren 1:09.942. Nelson through the first sector, sub 20 seconds, so not too bad through the first sector. There's a Red Bull just off to the right hand side, which I think is Maximus. And it's not, it's Tom, who I think might have run out of fuel. Or he's just getting out of the way there, I think he is. Nelson now through the middle sector. Not messing it up this time. The sun now beginning to break through the clouds, so will evolve the track slightly. 42 flat through the middle sector for Nelson. Just misjudges the hairpin slightly. Nice run out through first gear. Should be upping towards second on the exit of the corner. But the McLaren going great guns now on the run down towards the wall of Champion Chicane. Don't think he's going to be the quickest in the session, but he's certainly going to be up within the 1:10s, I think, possibly. Nelson now coming through the final 2 corners. Doesn't misjudge that at all, beautifully through there. And it's going to be 1:10 from Nelson. Where's he going to slot in? goes 7th, 110.4. So nice up there by Nilsson, right in between the 110s, and just 500ths of Atlas Coppo. So Nilsson goes 7th, Atlas Coppo 6th, currently out on track. Passels through the end of the first sector, 600ths up. Let's see what the Renault man can do. The Belgian, of course. So we are 7 minutes through qualifying. Thank you very much for tuning in to Division 4. To Division 5, I should say. Division 4 being the other stream, of course. Graham Chappell and Joseph Corboy taking you through that one. Passel 600ths down, coming through the middle sector, which we're right on board with him. Runs very wide, coming through the hairpin, trying to maximise the run off the corner. But now Passel's running down towards the end of the lap, as he now has the Wall of Champion chicane in front of him. And let's see what he's going to do through here. He might improve on his time, possibly. He could be in and around Nilsson, Atlas Coppo. No, he's not. He's going to come into the pit lane. Probably the fairest option if he's running low on fuel as well. DN200G through the first sector, he's invalidated. So DN200G has invalidated. That is even before, I think he's picked up a this and next lap invalidation possibly there. The Norwegian for the OWR team. Sammy King is also on a lap. Oh, and he hits the wall coming out of turn 2 and has picked up an invalid lap and has got left side end plate damage as well. So, you know what they say, that comes in threes. Sammy King, his threes have literally came invalid lap, left side end plate damage, and a trip back to the pit lane. Basically for him. Let's have a look at anybody else that might be on a lap. I think we've got NSR Storm on a lap. As he now comes through the first sector, you can really see the car twitching about. Not NSR Storm, only one of the slower drivers here in Division 5, but you never know, he could set a good first sector as he now comes through the end of the first sector. And it's a 20 flat, it's not too bad through the first sector. Totally misjudges the braking point all through from turn 6 and out through turn 7, and he spins the car on the side, on the right hand side curb, and that is him round, and he's lost pretty much both end plates. He's now running a T-tray. He's got to be very careful recovering that car. If he's not careful, he might get disqualified here. Now recover the car, J turn it round. Yeah, Storm has got round, luckily without being disqualified from the session, which is better than what I would have achieved, certainly, I think, out in track. Max Viking coming through the end of the middle sector. Not sure what his middle sector was like. It's 4/10ths up. There is a bit of a timings glitch on my end on the top right hand side, but there's nothing on the left hand side, which is good to see. Max Viking now on the run down towards the final couple of corners, towards turns 13 and 14 out on track. Max Viking will be hoping to have a very good race here tonight. And through the final corner, well, he's going to go quicker than Jeffrey. I think, honestly, this is going to be 109.4 across the line. Yeah, 109.5. I wasn't too far off. There was a 2 seconds timing glitch there on Max Viking's end. And might be on my end from viewing the session, but Jeffrey now is on a lap as well. He's a 10th up through the middle sector. Now on the run down towards turns 13 and 14 out on track. Invictus is 1500ths off him at this stage. Jippy Storm and Tom 4th and 5th. Jeffrey straight into the pit lane. Clearly wasn't happy with that lap. He was only 2/10ths up, but he will have to respond. He was on a set of soft compound tyres as well, so that's quite surprising, to be honest, that Jeffrey has came into the pit lane. Mays is on a lap, however. It looks like he might not have a front wing. Yeah, Mays does not have a left side end plate, certainly, and now that is him back into the pit lane as well out on track. No left side end plate. Not sure what happened there with Mays. Possibly a spin through the middle sector, perhaps. But he's hit back into the pit lane. Maximus has won and is not coming towards the pit lane. He will be going on for this lap, and let's see what the Brit can do. Running down the hill towards the Wall of Champion chicane. Very tricky corner this out on track. Max Viking leads 0 now 2nd. Jeffrey 3rd, Invictus 4th. Jippy Storm 5th. Maximus now through the final corner. He's going to be right up there with Max Viking across the line. 109.4 goes quickest by over a 10th and a half. So Maximus goes quicker than goes quicker than Vax Viking. Maximus out on top from Vax Viking 2nd, 0 in 3rd, with 7 minutes to go in qualifying here. And Jippy Storm, actually, speak of which, has just gone quicker altogether by 600ths of a second. So good improvement there from the Dutchman. And Jippy Storm does go quickest in that Racing Point. Of course, Racing Point on top in the constructor standings coming into tonight. And we should see some fantastic racing out on track. So wet qualifying session, by the way, in Division 4, if you do want to tune in for that. But we should see some great action, I think, from our guys here in Division 5 out on track. Shame it would have been his final commentary here in TTML, but he will have to wait another day, I'm afraid, to get that chance. And if you are wondering who is going to be taking his place next week in Division 5, that is going to be QVR Dakar. Daniel Hoggard is going to be taking you through the action, alongside me in the comment box, of course. Take the ultimate dream team pairing, I think, for Division 5. And if you are unaware of QVR Dakar, go and check out League of Europe Division 2. Any of the League Europe races from last season, or from this season so far, go and tune in. He is a really cracking commentator, and he's younger than me. He might be showing me up at this bit. Atlas Copel might be showing these guys up, coming through the final sector though. This is about to come across the line. Quick lap from Atlas Copel, goes fourth with a 109.7. Very nice and sedate lap, to be honest, from Atlas Copel there. Nice, clean, crisp is what I'm supposed to say. Atlas Copel goes fourth. Invictus has not got on a lap. Jeffrey's just started one. Just see if anybody else is on a lap further down. Now Vanderlei 6th up, coming through the middle sector. 111.7. He is quicker than a 111.7 for sure. Now Vanderlei will be hoping to try and improve, probably to around Nellis sort of area. Saying that, Nellis has just gone 5th with a 109.749, and he's only 22 hundredths of a second off Atlas Copel. Vanderlei now through the final corner. A little bit sedate through there, but now coming across the line, Vanderlei does go quicker by 3.5 tenths of a second. And he's set at 111.3. Doesn't improve his position though for now. Anybody else on the lap? Tom through the middle sector. Jeffrey is ahead of him though, out on track and is 6 tenths up. So Jeffrey on course here for a possible pole position. The N200G gets out of his way. Yet to set a lap is the Norwegian, but Jeffrey on a lap here, running down towards the wall of champion chicane. This has looked a very nice lap so far from Jeffrey as we ride on board with him now, coming attacking into this wall of champion chicane. Beautiful through there. A little bit hesitant on the exit, but he should go quicker than Jibby Storm, I think, here. Jeffrey across the line. Yeah, good improvement there from Jeffrey. 8.5 tenths, 109 flat. He's 3 tenths ahead of Jibby Storm, out on track with 4 minutes to go, or just over 4 minutes to go here in qualifying. Jeffrey on top, Jibby Storm second, Maximus in 3rd position. Tom, by the way, we were going to go on board with him. He has improved up to 7th, the Welshman. So nice lap there by Tom on, I think, his first race in a couple of weeks. But Tom obviously coming back to good form. Passels has just started a lap. Nelson about to come across the line here, the German, looking to improve ahead of Passels. He doesn't. He improved by 700. Might have been a little bit of a hesitant final corner there. I'm just trying to look in. Thought he had right side end plate damage, but he doesn't. The N200G on a lap. Mays, however, as Damars comes across the line to go 11th. Mays is on a lap coming through the final corner here with the Mercedes rip-roaring through the final corner. Mays coming across the line, goes 5th, 109.6. Nice up there by Mays. We've got DN200G on a lap and Satmi King as well. It's DN200G first with 3 minutes to go in qualifying. Might come back in. No, he's going to go on for a lap. The reserve here for Division 5 and the final corner. And across the line, 112 flat. So not bad lap there, goes 16th. Satmi King is on a lap as well. And he's actually going quite quick through the middle sector. There is a yellow flag just ahead. That's somebody coming into the pit lane. I think that might have been Tom coming into the pit lane. Satmi King now through the final corner. The attacking through there. Let's see what he can do. Coming across the line in the Williams. He goes 5th ahead of Mays by 14 hundredths of a second. So Satmi King goes 5th, Mays in 6th with 2 minutes and 35 seconds roughly to go. Jeffrey on top, Jibby Storm second, Maximus in 3rd position. Anybody else on a lap? Don't think so at this stage. Zero might have just started a lap, however, as he is at a 109.8. Maximus has retired in the pit lane. So no, he's not taking any further part and feels he's got 3rd wrapped up. I don't think so. Volkswagen and Satmi King possibly could improve ahead of him, as well as Mays, Atlas Copel and the likes. Zero through the first sector, 15 hundredths down on his personal best time. 109.8 is his current best. Let's see what the Toro Rosso man can do. Damals has retired out the session, so has Nilsson. So they're not taking any further parts here in qualifying. But we are getting down to the nitty-gritty stage here in qualifying. Zero now through the middle sector. He's a 10.5 up, and Purple through the middle sector. Bit of a voice crack there, but I'm still going to continue with it. Zero now on a lap, running down towards the wall of champion chicane through the kink at turn 12. Looking very nice through there as he now opens up the DRS, opens up the taps, as he now runs down towards the final 2 corners out on track. This is a very quick lap. I could challenge Jeffrey for pole here, possibly. Zero through the final corner. Not looking too bad. He took a very low gear coming out of there. 0 across the line. If it wasn't for that low gear, I think he would have improved further, possibly by about a tenth. He can find a bit of time on that lap, a 109.799. In fact, it improves him just ahead of Tom, so he only improves the position actually out on track. NSR Storm is one of the next ones to come across the line. The Haas, who has lost his left side end plate damage by the looks, as he now comes through down towards the final 2 corners. And in fact, he has lost both end plates and he invalidates coming through the final corner. Let's see what he does as he comes across the line. Not too bad of a lap. Jibby Storm is 5 tenths down, possibly going to go for his final lap and maybe going to be one of the final ones to come across the line as well. We'll just have a flick through, see if anybody is on a lap. 0 is not, I don't think. We've got Tom coming across the line there. Shumi on a lap, Vanderlei on a lap as well. NSR Storm has pulled off track as well. But Jeffrey about to start a lap. We're going board with Jibby Storm though. Anybody that does improve, Jibby Storm in fact into the pit lane, so he's not going to be improving at all. Viking currently 4th. Atlas Copo is on a lap though. Let's see what the Norwegian man can do. 109.727 out on track. Oh, he clonks the wall. That's his right side end plate damage going absolutely flying there. He's 900s down coming through the first sector. Right side end plate damage did come off as a result of the hit of the wall coming through, and that is him done. Atlas Copo is done out on track. We've got Tom on a lap. See what he's like. He's 3 tenths up through the middle sector, Tom. Not looking too bad through the middle sector. As he now comes out the hairpin, now through the turn 12 kink. Another one down towards turn 13 and 14 out on track. Of course, they're racing around a man-made island. Tom trying to take as little ground as possible to try and save coming through the kink there. Now down towards the wall of champion chicane. Braking beautifully. Oh, nicely controlled by Tom. This is bound to be going towards the top end of the field. Truly, Tom across the line. He goes 5th. 109.5, a better lap there from him, but spiking the 600s down as Invalidator coming through the final corner, hits the wall. 0, by the way, went 4th with a 109.4, and there's a Ferrari coming across the line. Atlas Copo, he is done for the session. 0 looks like he's done for the session as well. We've got NSR Storm trudging his way back into the pit lane. Jeffrey looks like he's improving though. What is Jeffrey going to set across the line? Oh, 108.7. Really good lap there by Jeffrey. Goes 6 tenths clear of Jibby Storm. In fact, it's 6.5 tenths of a second. Jeffrey in an absolute world of his own here in qualifying and takes pole position with nobody to come across the line. So Jeffrey out on top from Jibby Storm in second, Maximus in 3rd position. And Jeffrey, one of those contenders for 3rd, I think, coming into tonight. Really going to make himself known, possibly for a championship contention here, as we are into round 5, of course. Jeffrey in 5th in the standings on 66 points. Maximus in 3rd on 68. Atlas Copo in 4th on 67. So, Jeffrey has got the advantage of those guys that are turning up. Tekken and Paul are not here. So that means battle that we're going to be focusing on really in the constructors and in the teams, in the drivers' standings, I should say, is the battle for 3rd between Maximus, Atlas Copo, and Jeffrey. We're just waiting on Nellis and Passels to retire from the session. They have got a minute to retire. Jeffrey out on top though in qualifying. What a stunning lap from the Dutchman. Jibby Storm in 2nd, as I say, Maximus in 3rd. Looking down, of course, the top 10 will be starting on the set of soft compounded tyres, as you see to the left-hand side. Everyone lower than that, Shumi all the way down to NSR Storm, who didn't get a lap in. They're all going to be on a different strategy, and we'll confirm the strategies for you in just a second, but normally it's the case where we might have a 2-stop strategy. My interpretation, though, is if it has been very cloudy within qualifying, it normally means it's going to be a wet race. That is what I normally suggest what happens. Never know if it will happen though, but you never know. We're just waiting on Passels now to retire from the session, and we'll give you the full rundown of the order in just a second. But a very nice lap. There's some very good laps actually further down the field. Tom in 5th is a big striking point, I think. The Welshman 109.5, and now we have ended qualifying officially. We can run you through with Jeffrey out on top at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. And it is Jeffrey out on top, as I say, 6.5 tenths of a second ahead of Jibby Storm. His fellow Dutchman in 2nd, made to look ordinary, I think, out on track in terms of the qualifying times. Maximus in 3rd with 0 in 4th. Tom in 5th with Vax Viking in 6th. Sapmi King in 7th with Maze in 8th. Atlas Coppo in 9th. Top 8, by the way, less than a second separating. Atlas Coppo in 9th, Nellis in 10th, with Schumi in 11th, Invictus in 12th, Passel's 13th, De Miles 14th, Nilsson in 15th, Vanderlei in 16th. Could have gone quicker, I think. DN200G in 17th, and NSR Storm in 18th position. Not getting a lap time set. Too many invalidations, too many hits to the wall. NSR Storm not setting a lap there from the back of the field. Hopefully, we're not going to see any kamikaze moves down and towards turn 1. Of course, the race cannot be won on turn 1, it can be won on the final lap through the final 2 corners on lap 35. And that is how many laps we have got for you tonight here in Canada. But it is going to be one of the quickest races you will see all season, I think. It might only take about 40 or 45 minutes, but we're going to be in for the long haul here with Canada, especially if the safety cars come out and especially if it rains. And looking at the conditions here within the start of the race, it does look cloudy, so anybody on a set of soft compound of tyres will be feeling the effects, I think, out on track in terms of tyre degradation. You should see the first pit stops happen around lap 5, maybe lap 6. As soon as that comes to pass, we should see the soft runners in from that pit window. Set of mediums can probably go less than halfway, probably to around lap 13, 14, and then the guys will start pitting in from that lap. And then anybody that decides to go on a set of hards, we haven't seen it in Division 1 or Division 2 that I've covered so far this week. So it'd be very interesting to see if anybody does go for that one-stop strategy, set of hards to possibly a set of mediums, but you never know if it's going to rain later on in the race. Let's have a look then at everyone's tyre strategies. Let's predict the pit stop strategy. 2-stop is the way to go. Lap 8 to 11 and lap 22 to 28. Differentiation there if you want to go on the hards. Lap 21 to 28 on a set of hard compound tyres for Jeffrey. That was his pit stop strategy. And as is the case from Division 1 and 2, no surprise, nobody has gone for the hard compound tyres. The hards are quite durable around here, but it's the worst strategy to go on because it costs more time than anything else. Let's have a look through the strategies then from everyone. Top 10, of course, qualified on the same compound tyre that they would have started on, or that they are going to start on, so all of them within on a set of soft compound tyres. Invictus and De Miles, the exception rather than the rule in 12th and 14th. Hopefully we're going to be seeing them make progress through the field. Everyone else though on a set of mediums, like Schumi, Passels, Nilsson, Vanderlei, DN200G and Storm, all on a set of medium compound of tyres. I normally make a prediction at this point, and I am going to at the end of the stream, at the end of this formation lap. But bear in mind that everybody on a set of mediums could be going towards the halfway stage. Just before the halfway stage, we saw Gary last night, last 23 or 24 laps, I think it was, on a set of medium compound tyres. So it can be done from a one-stop strategy. Anybody that does decide to do that, though, you are pretty much digging your own grave, I think, out on track. It is probably the worst strategy to be on and will cost you a lot of time. And if anybody is watching me for strategy calls, yeah, ignore me, go for Jeff. Top 3 prediction, though, from me. I'm going to go Jeffrey. Completely and utterly dominant within qualifying. If he gets a good start and he gets the look out in front, then I think he's going to be nailed on for the win. Maximus to finish in 2nd, and in 3rd, I'm going to go for Vax Viking. I think Vax Viking's got quicker pace in the race than he does in qualifying. So the Renault hoping to go from 6th up to 3rd. Final cars have just rejoined the grid there at the back. NSR Storm and DN200G. For 35 laps of racing here for Division 5. The red lights are glitching out, but the 5 lights are on. And it is a long haul, but it is. Lights and away we go. Oh, very messy start. Invictus, I think, jumped the start. Maybe a bit of a lights glitch there. Renault forced onto the grass slightly. That might have been Parcells. But now coming through turn 1, Jeffrey leads. It's 2 wide in the background. That is between Mays and an AlphaTauri. And that looks like it might be Zero going through in 4th position. Mays has had a good start, but as we ride on board with Jibby Storm on the back of Jeffrey. This first sector very, very light and very, very good indeed from everyone coming through the first sector. There's been no contact further down the field. NSR Storm struggling enough to stop, but it is Jeffrey who does lead the way coming through the end of the first sector. Jibby Storm in 2nd. There's been a little bit of contact further down the field. It's Invictus that's been caught up in a collision. TN200G I think has been caught up in a collision there as well, so possibly a little bit of contact between them both. Jeffrey though on the run up towards the hairpin. Blue flags are showing. Blue flags you can ignore, I think, for these drivers. Jeffrey running wide of the hairpin. coming through though with a 4:10 lead from Jibby Storm in second. The timings will fix themselves, trust me. Maximus in third, Tom in fourth. Tom trying to chase down in fourth position. Sapmi King in fifth, with Zero in sixth position as well. And Tom right on the back here of Sapmi King. They run on fourth now with Sapmi King. And down into the braking zone. And Mays actually getting the move done on Zero. Very close contact there, but Mays is through and he's up into sixth position. And we come to the end of lap one. Very clean lap one from what I saw. Vax Viking is through on Zero. He's up into seventh position. But Jeffrey leads, Jibby Storm second, Maximus third, Tom in fourth, Sapmi King rounding off the top five. Everyone crossed the line on the first lap. Very good start from everyone out on track. Vax Viking then on the back of Mays, 0.3 of a second away. Norwegian against the Brit here. And the Brit will be hoping for quite a lot of luck, I think, out on track. The Brit, of course, being Mays. Vax Viking, though, on the back of Mays. And Jeffrey currently out in front. Jibby Storm second. There's a predicted pit stop strategy. It does change throughout the race, but it looks like two-stop. There is no variation for Vax Viking, certainly, that there is from the start of the race. 1 or 2 laps might make the difference in terms of the strategy, but we come up to the hairpin for the second time. He knifes through there. 0-1 on the back of Vax Viking. Trying to get the move done, but not quite close enough. Everyone running quite close. Atlas Copo on the back of Zero. Now the Norwegian looking on the back of the Dutchman. Let's see what he can do as he runs down into the chicane. Jeffrey leading the way though. Jibby Storm second, Maximus third, Tom in fourth. Right on board with Atlas Copo. Not getting the move done there. Dame Mars has a good run out on Nellis. Nellis a little bit sideways coming out the corner. But now Dame Mars. This is the opportunity, the Welshman, to try and get the move done. And no, he will wait for the DRS on this occasion. Jibby Storm is right on the back of Jeffrey as well. Dame Mars tries to switch back coming through turn 2, but it doesn't work. Go back on board with the battle for the lead though. Jeffrey leads. Jibby Storm second, Maximus in third. Dame Mars with a 3-second time penalty he has picked up. But now Jeffrey under pressure from the Dutchman. The two Dutchmen are going to fight out in front. Jeffrey leads. Jibby Storm second, Maximus in third. You can see there Maximus right on the back of these guys. Tom in fourth. We've got Vax Viking going side by side, trying to go around the outside of turn 8. Mays sticks his ear in though, having none of that. Vax Viking stays in seventh. Mays stays in sixth as well. But here comes Zero, trying to get the run up towards the hairpin. Is he going to go for a dive bomb down the inside? No. Oh, Ferrari very close there as well. And here comes Dame Mars down the inside of Nellis, trying to get the move done, not quite. But now Mays looks like a sitting duck to Vax Viking here. Vax Viking trying to go all the way around the outside, but he's only at half deployment, running down the straight, and Mays just beginning to edge away. Watch out for Zero in the background as well. He could try and fancy this down into the braking zone. There is a little bit of left side end plate damage. I wonder if it's from Sapmi King on the run in towards the corner. Not sure what happened there. DN200G now down at the back of the field, but running down in towards turn 1 once again. Very good action out on track. Shumi has got the move done around the outside of Nellis, and actually Dame Mars is trying to have a go here down the inside. Oh, and he commits the move. Never gonna work that one, my son. And the Welshman having to back out of that. A little bit of contact made. He tried to go for gap that was inevitably going to close. It's as simple as that. Dame Mars down to 15th, and NSR Storm, I think, has just that DN200G through as well. Maximus on the back of Jibby Storm. There's it for third and fourth, well, second and third actually now out on track. Tom, of course, in behind. Jeffrey now beginning to pull away. Jibby Storm just struggling maybe with a little bit of traction coming out the corners. We'll see now Maximus close in. Tries to go switch back down the inside. Doesn't work. But Maximus now should have the run. You can see his deployment of ERS. He's going to use that overtake mode up to absolute perfection, and he will use it to try and get the move done. He switches to the outside line. No nonsense here from Maximus. There goes the Racing Point. Bye-bye, he says to the Racing Point. And he's through Maximus, and he's up into second position. Yeah, you can see Jibby Storm, his front right actually just beginning to wear away slightly. A little bit of blistering occurring on the right front. And he tries to go for a move down the inside, not quite. Mays is in the meantime on the back of Sapmi King. Mays down the inside, and Sapmi King gets the move done. Nice move there by Mays. In fact, Viking also is through on Zero, I think. They were fighting down towards turn 1. Alice Copa was into the pit lane as well. But Jeffrey Adam from Maximus second. Jibby Storm in third position out on track. And what I'm going to do is I'll be back in just 2 minutes. You can watch the battle for second between Maximus and Jibby Storm. Great fight as we ride on board as Tom tries to go around the outside of Jibby Storm. I am back. Beautiful timing as well. It is Jeffrey who leads, Maximus second, Jibby Storm in third, Tom in fourth. Maximus has got and disposed of Jibby Storm as past that battle for second, but you've seen the first guys come into the pits. Zero, Satmi King, all into the pit lane to go on to that set of mediums and to try the two-stop strategy. Here comes Tom down the inside! What a move on Jibby Storm. Can he get the move done? Jibby Storm tries to hang it on in there. Both cut across the chicane slightly. Oh, and Jibby Storm comes across on Tom. What on earth is happening there? Jibby Storm coming across on Tom. Not really sure what happened there. Not really sure if Jibby Storm just completely and utterly cut him off. But whatever happened there, it will be investigated by the stewards. I know for sure. Tom on the back of Jibby Storm. He will not be happy with that. He will want vengeance from that. It looked like a bit they both picked up front wing damage as well. Come out the final corner of Vanderlei. Looks like he's round through the hairpin. Here comes Tom though down the inside. Jibby Storm cutting off, and I'm not really sure what's happening here. Tom should just judge this to absolute perfection to try and get the move done. The Welshman has got to be careful because Jibby Storm has already made it known that he has came across on Tom. Whether it was an accident, whether it was on purpose, it remains to be seen. But Tom, though, on the back of Jibby Storm. Let's see if he can try and get the move done. Some of the pit stops being made. Maze into the pits, Viking into the pits for the likes as well. They will go on to a set of medium compound of tyres. You can see the gap extending out to 0.2 of a second. The gap's actually staying the same here between third and fourth. They will update as they come through. But here comes Tom. Now down the inside of Jibby Storm, who just completely and utterly blocks him off. This is not great racing at all, but for Jibby Storm's point of view, he wants to clean it up, and he wants to clean it up now, I think. Otherwise, he's going to be landing himself in real deep trouble, and with a slap wrist and possibly a penalty or two. Jeffrey into the pits from the lead of the race, so it's Maximus. Jibby Storm and Tom, I think, will follow suit. No, Tom actually comes in the pit lane. Yeah, Tom into the pit lane to try the undercut. I think he's got damage as well. It's unfortunate to see that sort of driving, to be honest. Tom is out in the pit lane, and no front wing change, it seems, for that car. And it looked like actually it might have been Jibby Storm who hit the wall and has got right side end plate damage, possibly. Yeah, right side end plate damage for Jibby Storm. So that is why he's in the lead of the race. But for how long? Jeffrey, by the way, came out behind Passel's in a clear lead by 1.6 seconds. He's actually gained time on Maximus coming out the pit lane. There's the yellow flag in sector 3. I think it's NSL Storm that has gone round. Quite a few down the field early. Jeffrey right on the back of Passel's. This is for third and fourth. Belgian against the Dutchman. The Dutchman should just make light work of Passel's, but not using up his overtake mode. He's got 95% of ERS in deployment for him to really just hammer away. Whenever he chooses to go, I think he will go. Shumi, by the way, is catching on Jibby Storm as a result of that damage. 1.2 seconds already gained through the first two sectors alone. And now you see Jeffrey trying to power out the corner. Passel with a better exit though. And now this is where Jeffrey is going to make it known, and you can probably see where this one's going to go, to be honest. There is Passel to the left hand side. There is Jeffrey. Bye, says Jeffrey. And Jeffrey through, and he's up to third. Passel's no way he was going to fight that. Jibby Storm into the pit lane then from the lead of the race. Viking on the back there of Maze as well. This is for now 5th and 6th because Jibby Storm getting that front wing replacement. Tom is going to be out in front of him quite comfortably, I think. So the undercut has magnificently worked, I think, in the Red Bull's favour. And he'd be very much hoping that he doesn't have to deal with the racing point once again during the race. Vanderlei and Satmi King are just about ahead of Jibby Storm, and Jibby Storm actually just about coming out the pit lane behind them. And so there he is, rejoining in 12th position. Disappointing, I think. He could have landed himself with a good result, but here comes Maximus on the back of Passel's. And Maximus looks like he's got the job done here down the inside. Yep, job done. Maximus through, and he's up to third. Beautiful move that, actually. Side by side in towards turn 9, which you don't often see around this track. Jeffrey going for move though on Shumi, and Jeffrey, I think Shumi's just let him through there, to be honest, and Jeffrey's through and he's into the lead of the race. We're on lap 10 out of 35. We're about 2/5 of the way through nearly. Jeffrey leads from Shumi in second. Maximus there in third with Passel's in fourth. Maze in fifth with Vax Viking in 6th position. Zero in 7th. It's a chase down. This three-way battle for 5th developing. Maze, Vax Viking and Zero. You would argue, actually, that Zero is probably the quicker driver out of the three. Oh, just saying that, actually, I've totally screwed him up coming through the final corner. I hope to God he doesn't listen to that. Jimmy Storm is through on Satmy King further down the field. And obviously, some of that driving will be investigated, I'm sure, by the Division 5 stewards. We do have the stewards chat, of course, within the Discord, so that is where it's going to get investigated from. Mays now under pressure from Vax Viking. Nellis, by the way, got through on Art Vanderlei on quicker tyres, so Nellis is through and he's up to 12th as well. And here comes Maximus trying to make light work of Shumi. Shumi will defend in the middle line. Oh, Maximus trying to go around the outside there. That would have been very bold from him, but I think Shumi might just give him the benefit of the doubt here, to be honest. Maximus will go down the inside. No, he won't. Shumi hangs on for second position. Although this time could gain in favour of Mays and in favour of Vax Viking as well. The sun is now out in Canada, which I'm glad to report. Jeffrey leads by roughly 3 seconds from Shumi in second, Maximus in third. But there goes Maximus now for second position. Job done, no nonsense approach. Maximus through and up into second position. Here comes Vax Viking right on the back of Mays, pretty much towing each other along, coming down into the braking zone. Passos is into the pits, I think, just in front. Vax Viking picks up a 3-second time penalty, but Mays hanging on in there for grim life. Can the Mercedes hang off the attentions of the Renault? Here comes the Renault down the inside, but no, Mays hangs on for P4. Vax Viking knows better than to dive bomb a very good driver in terms of Mays, and Mays up there in fourth position. Vax Viking fifth, 0 and 6. This is going to be quite an interesting battle and quite a dicey battle, I think, between the three of them. As we ride on board now with Zero, who is trying to close up to the back. The top three you can probably ignore at this stage. Shumi will come back to these guys eventually, but it seems like Jeffrey's out on top and is out in beautifully positioned out on track to win this race, it seems. Of course, these guys probably will go 2-stop to a set of softs, possibly to the end of the race, but we did see a couple of drivers last night in Division 2 go on to that set of medium compound of tyre. Nellis is on the back of Satmy King, relatively on the same strategy as well. Williams quicker than the AlphaTauri coming out of there, and Satmy King hanging on for 10th position for now. But here comes Nellis trying to go down the inside. And no, Nellis not close enough to the back of Satmy King. Jimmy Storm just in front of these guys as well. Jimmy Storm has actually disposed of these guys. Here comes Vax Viking down the inside. Oh, and we see side by side coming through the chicane. Mays having to take escaping action there down on the inside of the curb. And I think actually he's going to let Vax Viking through. Yeah, good sportsmanship shown there by Mays. And I think Zero realised what he was doing there. So Mays lets through Vax Viking for fourth position. That is the sign of good sportsmanship. That is the sign of what we like to see. That is the driving we want to see here and promote in TTML in all divisions. And that is exactly what it is. Mays leading by example there. At 13 out of 35 just beginning. Jeffrey leads, Maximus second, Shumi third, Vax Viking fourth, Mays in fifth, there's Zero in sixth. I want to draw your attention though to a battle that is developing. It is between Nilsson, Passelt and Dame Miles, 13th, 14th and 15th out on track. As Zenithar Storm is through on DN200G as well. That is for the back position for 17th and 18th position, and in fact DN200G into the pit lane. Very much struggling out on track though. Passel's 1.1 seconds off. He was getting close to the back of Dame Miles, I think, in last time around. But looking now, he will have to wait for those hard compound of tyres to come into play. And he's just within DRS range now on Dame Miles. And you might see Passelt try and go for the move down in towards turn 13 if he's close enough. But to be honest, I don't think he's close enough on the Welshman. I mean, he's a second off. He's just within DRS range. But he will have to absolutely fly if he wants to get any sort of run down in towards turn 1. Let alone down in towards turn 13. So Passel's now on the back. Dame Miles a little bit sideways coming out the final corner. Just gives Passelt a bit of a look in as he comes down. There is a yellow flag through sector 1, and it is Jibby Storm. I think that is round. No, it's not. It's the N200G. He was spun out of the corner. Here comes Vax Viking though on Shumi. No nonsense there from the Norwegian on his fellow countryman. Vax Viking through and he's up into third position. And now Mays is on the back end. It's a four-way battle. Shumi falling down like an absolute stone through the field. He He will be hoping to go maybe hard towards the end of the race. Max Viking covers off down the inside line. Mays will try and switch us back down the inside through the hairpin. Tell you what, he's got a phenomenal run out as Mays. Beautiful run out the hairpin, and can he get the move done down the straight? I think you bet he can, because Shumi has got DRS as well, but it looks like Mays has used up that overtake mode. He has got the move done. Mays is through and he's up into 4th position. Beautifully timed move there by Mays. He's through and he's up to 4th. Shumi into the pit lane. Relinquishes 5th position. That now belongs to Zero, who will now get onto the back, and with the dirty air happening in front, Zero will be on the back within DRS range sooner rather than later, I think. Right over the leader though, Jeffrey, 2.5 in 2nd. Beautiful racing so far here out on track. Questionable racing from a couple, but for the majority anyways, it has been fantastic to watch. Jeffrey does lead by 2.6 seconds. Really take the race by the scruff of the neck, but he won't be taking the race by the scruff of the neck if he does that more too often. 3-second time penalty there for Jeffrey. We'll have a run down through the penalties within the final 5 laps or so. Jeffrey leading the way and leading by example in the Mercedes. Mercedes on for a very good point score potentially here, with Mays being in 4th position. The man you want to watch out for though later on in the race is Shumi. Shumi could be trying the same strategy as what we saw from XL Gary last night. Gary of course finishing 2nd in the end in a beleaguered race in Division 2, obviously with the connection issues. Here comes Mays though on the back of Vax Viking. Goodbye Vax Viking. Mays is down the inside line, and beautifully done by Mays. He's up into 3rd. No nonsense there at all. And here comes Zero as well. Vax Viking's going to lose 2 positions. The overspeed is too much with Zero getting the move done. He cuts off Vax Viking at the pass, and he goes through and he's up into 4th position. Great run there by Mays. Vax Viking just messed up coming through the chicane, but Zero getting the move done as well. 2 for the price of 1. If there was a bargain at Poundland and you were getting 50 pence, then I think Mays and Zero would have just bargained that for 3rd and 4th position. And that is the worst pun I've probably ever used for Poundland, and I do apologise in advance of anybody that is watching this later on. Jeffrey though leading 2.3 seconds now the gap. Maximus beginning to let himself know that he is beginning to pick up the pace. It's now 2.7 as I say that, but running out the hairpin, and again just closes down 2.5 seconds out on track. Jeffrey's got to be careful. He is using more ERS actually, Jeffrey, than Maximus. I thought it was the other way around. So Jeffrey clearly feeling as if he's got the tyres currently to go and last quite a long way into the race. Maximus 2.9 seconds in behind. There's Mays in 3rd. There is a battle though going on for 12th and 13th. On the run up into the hairpin. This is between Miles and Shumi. Everyone's still going around out on track. Miles runs wide. He's got right side end plate damage. You can see there visibly from Shumi's POV. And now Shumi on the run down the straight. There should be no nonsense. He's on quicker tyres. Miles might just ended up coming into the pit lane to be honest. But does Shumi know he's got right side end plate damage? He'll soon realise it. And Miles, oh, I thought he was going to come into the pit lane there, but he doesn't. Shumi's got to be careful. He wants to try and get the move done. He's got the overtake mode now in operation. This should be job done down towards turn 1, possibly from Shumi. No, he doesn't try. Miles forced into a mistake through turn 1. And now Shumi through turn 2, right on the back of the Welshman. Oh, and the Welshman spun on the inside curve there. There he goes. And he's lost his front wing. Shumi through and he's up into 12th position. That's the easiest overtake you might ever see. It's not the overtake you want to see though. And I thought he lost his front wing. He hasn't. It's his left side end plate damage that is received. He's still got right side end plate damage though, has completely and utterly gone. Passel's now on the back of Miles. To be honest, Miles could come into the pits and go on for another set of mediums. 18 laps on a set of mediums, it shouldn't be too bad to last. But Miles, I think, should try and risk it for a chocolate biscuit and make a little bit of progress through the field. He will be out behind our Vanderlei, but certainly he's going to be within contention of a top 10 finish if he pits this lap. I certainly think anyways. He is 5 seconds off Shumi, but he will be on quicker tyres than the guys towards the end of the race. That is the theoretical thinking of what I'm saying out on track. Passel's on the back of Miles. He has got DRS, but he's not using up that overtake mode. Miles, he's into the pit lane, yep. So Miles into the pits. 5-second penalty for spinning in the pit lane there as well. Passel's now up to 13th as a result. Zero trying to close in on Mays. So for 3rd and 4th, you hear a little bit of a revving out glitch actually between 6th and 7th gear. Mays now in 3rd, 0 and 4th. But we are halfway through here in Canada. Good evening to everyone that is tuning in far and wide, of course, here in TTML Division 5. I am James Head, doing a solo job tonight. Paco Suarez not alongside me in the commentary box for what would have been his TTML, his final race covering here in TTML. But I'm sure you guys will want to send him your best wishes. I'm sure he is probably watching on as well. If we go on to lap 19, Jeffrey leads Maximus in second. There's a yellow flag and it is Dave Miles, I think, who was spun out of the pit lane on relatively cold tyres, and now he's about to be lapped by the leaders. But I'm sure you guys do want to give Paco your best wishes within the comments section if you are tuning in to this and don't realise who Paco is. He's my co-commentator. He's from Spain. He's been an absolute legend of a commentator to have alongside me in the commentary box for Division 5. And I'm sure he will get the send-off he does deserve. And I know Division 2 last night was a great race. He's missing out on a treat here as well in Division 5, but I'm sure you guys want to join me and wish him all the best. As actually Zero runs wide there, coming through turn 5. Just saw it on the background of shot. Not really sure what happened there. Might have spun on the inside curb perhaps. But he gets away with it. Zero in 4th, Max Viking in 5th. Max Viking's actually got left side end plate damage. Just looking on board there. But yeah, I'm sure you guys want to wish him well in his future endeavours, and I know he's off to uni as well, so I'm sure you guys want to wish him on. Tom is round, coming through the hairpin, lighting up the rear there, but Tom, goodness me, he's got away with it somehow. Atlas Copo, he doesn't lose a position to Atlas Copo, but Tom doesn't want to do that too often. Invictus down the inside of Satmi King, if we run on board Satmi King, oh, and Invictus just lights up the rears as well. Satmi King, left side end plate damage it seems for Satmi King. Unfortunate, I think. Invictus looked like he had the move done, to be honest. Down the inside, he just light up the rear. Satmi King, wrong place, wrong time. There is contact. And now Satmi King will be diving into the pit lane to repair that left side end plate damage. So you see to the right hand side on the screen. Max Viking and Atlas Copo, interestingly though, into the pit lane. And I think this is probably more Esports Masters League sort of tactics than normal tactics for what we see in Division 5. I think these guys might be working together to score points. Max Viking coming out behind a lapped NSR Storm. And Atlas Copo is out 6 tenths behind him. So could provide some good action here for 10th position coming out on track. But Max Viking already, you can see the pace picking up, and Max Viking already in 10th position and already beginning to pull that gap. Schumi is just ahead, so it's not too bad in terms of a Ferrari sandwich at all. And now Atlas Copo will be hoping to try and close in on Max Viking. And by the way, if you didn't tune in earlier on, I did tease who was going to be alongside me in the commentary box next week. And I did try and message him, because I know Paco was running late and I know he's not here. I did try and message the commentators. Dave Miles has retired in the pit lane, so that will bring out, that won't bring out the safety car, I don't think. Zero, however, is into the pit lane. So let's see him as he comes into the pits, clapping going into the pit lane for Zero. As he now takes the pit stop. Set of mediums ready. 14 laps, yeah, should make it quite easily towards the end of the race. So Zero 7 up his 5-second time penalty. Won't be added on to the time, I don't think, at the end of the race, but he is out behind Atlas Copo quite a lot, and I think he's going to come out dead alongside NSR Storm, possibly the lapped NSR Storm out on track. Apologies about the hiccup there, by the way. If you did hear that, yeah, that was a hiccup from me. It's hard to be a solo commentator and try and commentate you through the action while trying to take breaks regularly within commentary. But still, Jeffrey leads, Maximus second, Mays in third. Really good result actually going on for Mays currently, and for both Mercedes and Red Bull. They're currently in first and third in terms of Mercedes, second and fourth if you are one of those Red Bull fans. Atlas Copo now beginning to get closer to Max Viking. Max Viking eating into the advantage as well on Schumi. You can see how much prevalent more the medium compounded tyres are. The fresh mediums are compared to a worn set of the medium compounded tyres. They're so much quicker than Max Viking. Really beginning to close in that gap. Mays into the pit lane. There's the yellow flag in sector 3, which is NSR Storm, who has lost it through the hairpin through a turn 12. Mays now coming out the pit, and he's coming out in relatively free air, I think, because Invictus is going to be out well behind him, about 3-4 seconds possibly behind him, and Mays out easily in 4th position. Clear track, he can put the hammer down. He's got 11 seconds to Tom. Should be quite easy to make up, I think. There is a yellow flag in sector 2. That is a racing point. That is DN200G. He'll be storming into the pit lane. So that is DN200G into the pit lane. Jeffrey Storm is not 300s off the back of Zero. I'm not sure really what is going on with the timings glitch here. Another glitch, of course, that we found in the patch. Oh my god, Nellis nearly into the back of Pasels. 11th and 12th position this is for on the heart Nellis on a set of medium compound of tyres. And of course Pasels on that set of hard. Very close for a little bit of contact there, but now this is setting up beautifully for Nellis to get the move done down in towards turn 8. We should see the Dutchman close in on the Belgian, and Nellis, light work. Beautiful move down the inside, in towards the chicane at turns 8 and 9. Passos is not lying down with this though. He could switch it back to the inside, but he's now 2 tenths off, and Nellis has now got the move done. Down into the hairpin. Job done for Nellis. He's up into 11th position. Really driving well, Nellis, so far tonight. And he is on fresher tyres. He is one of the guys that is on fresher tyres, as now we see Atlas Copel and Vax Viking swap positions. And Atlas Copel pulls away from Vax Viking, using up half the amount of ERS. Running down the straight there, Vax Viking. Of course, when it dips under 10%, that's what we mean by half a percent of ERS. Shumi and Atlas Copel. I think Shumi might just get out of the way here, possibly for Atlas Copel. But if Atlas Copel is backed up into Vax Viking, it could give Vax Viking a run, possibly at Atlas Copel. He's got to be careful of how he pulls this off, Shumi. As long as the gap is there, he should just slot in and hold up Vax Viking. But now, we should see him pull off to the right-hand side. Yep, job done for Atlas Copel through, and yeah, he's going to pull right into that gap because Vax Viking has made a slight mistake. There's a yellow flag in Sector 1, there's DN200G, I think again. Maximus might invoke a response from Jeffrey though. This is going on to a set of medium compound of ties to the end of the race. So Maximus is in from second position. He's going to be well out in front of Tom coming out the pit lane, and well out in front of Maze as well. Maze is only running down halfway down the back straight. So Maximus is out in second position. Tom just nearly coming into camera view there. There he is, coming down towards turn 1. Maximus through, and he's up into second position. He rejoins 19 seconds. Oh, and Shumi clouts the wall, coming through the wall of champion chicane. Nearly costing him out the race there. Luckily, I don't think he picked up any right side end plate damage, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see if he did. No right side end plate damage at all for the Ferrari, but now Vax Viking is going to make light work, I think, of Shumi. Shumi trying his best, of course. Gap already 18.4 for the leaders, so it's going to be very close. If that gap dips under 17, Jeffrey might be in trouble. Vax Viking now through the middle sector. Let's see what he's going to do. Switches it back, trying to go around the outside now through turn 6. Now through turn 7. And Jeffrey into the pit lane from the lead of the race. Yellow flag in Sector 1, NSR Storm. They're having their own private spinning battle, I think, down in 16th and 17th tonight is NSR Storm and DN200G. Storm has actually put a lap on DN200G. Jeffrey into the pit lane, not sure actually if that might have been a front wing change, and it was. It was a front wing change for Jeffrey, or a 5-second penalty, and regardless of which, Maximus now out in front. So Maximus takes the lead of the race for the first time, and Jeffrey 6 seconds coming out the pit lane behind Maximus, and that 5 seconds really costly. Whether that was a stop-go, whether that was a front wing change, it might have been the latter rather than the former. But now Jeffrey has got to put his hammer down. A lap, fresher tyres. Do you know what? He could have gone into a set of softs and really closed in on the gap on Maximus. Surprised that he hasn't. But Maximus now leads Jeffrey second. Vax Viking on the back of Shumi. Still hasn't found a way through. Zero and Tom as well are lining up. Possibly a move. Tom on a set of softs is absolutely flying behind Zero. Vax Viking now on the back of Shumi. This should be job done, hopefully, from Vax Viking. Oh, and actually he goes wide, coming through turn 6 and 7, and now on the run towards turn 8 and 9. Zero right on the back of Vax Viking. Can he get the move done? Down in towards the chicane. No. Maybe down in towards the hairpin. Vax Viking can get the move done on Shumi. We'll keep on with Zero though, who is looking quicker. Just using a little bit of overtake mode. 3.7 seconds for the gap for the lead. Maximus has picked up a 3-second time penalty. That could be costly, but I know Jeffrey has already got one at least. Here comes Vax Viking though, on the back of Shumi. This should be job done, but again, his ERS deployment is really hammering him down. It's down to 0% of ERS. He might not need the 0% of ERS as he cuts to the outside line. Beautiful move by Vax Viking. That is sensational. Going around the outside through turn 13 and 14. It gives Zero now a look in for P6 out on track. Shumi tries to cut across, but Zero down the inside gets the job done. Brilliant.